In acting class, today's main focus was framing. Apparently, being back here, no go. You see how much space there is around me? Apparently you're always, but well, not always. But most of the time, it's just chest and shoulders. And you want to get you want as much of you as possible, because that's what the audition's about. Speaking of what the audition's about, in my homework assignment, I was supposed to act as a roof repair representative, I guess. You know, I knock on your door, tell you how much it's gonna cost, explain the process, and then tell you to have a good day. Now, I did that in my backyard because I knew that if I kept knocking on the front door, then my dogs were gonna go nuts. So I was like, all right, I can just knock on my back door and then they can just be in the backyard. Big mistake, because in the background, first of all, I was in frame, but I was right here. So you can see a little bit of the backyard. Honestly, I'll probably stitch the video to this one at the very end so y'all can see it. But you can see my dog in the background. And at first, my teacher's like, Dillon, no dogs in the background, because if I'm a casting office or a director and I'm watching your audition, all of a sudden I'm looking at your dog. And then the video plays a little longer, and my dog starts taking a piss. And he's like, Dillon, see that? I was the laugh of the class. It was a very funny moment, a little embarrassing, but a good learning experience. He was like, Dillon, your acting's good, just too much is going on, you know. Your dog's in the background pissing, you're outside. Just try to do it like how I do it in class, because it's a little different, you know. Self-taping. See, when I do my YouTube videos, the camera exists. It's like all fourth wall. I'm talking to you guys. But in self-tape, it's a little different because I have to pretend that the camera doesn't exist, which it's a little tricky to flip, you know. It's kind of like the same, it feels kind of the same mentally as when I switch from ice skating to rollerblading. Yeah, I'm still recording myself, but I'm doing it in a whole different manner, you know. Now, speaking of breaking the fourth wall, that's a big mistake that a lot of my classmates did. Is one of my classmates, he puts his car in park because, well, that's one thing. That's another thing I miss. I was supposed to be driving, but I was like, we have to do this in one take. Let's be smart. And I kind of made it to where the car was already parked, but apparently the whole point was to be driving. Kind of missed that mark, but hey, live and learn. But back to the fourth wall. One of my classmates, he puts the car in park, checks the address, and then he stares right at the camera and he's like, and big no-no. And my mom was asking me, well, why is this such a big deal? Well, because it takes away from the illusion that it's reality. As soon as you look into the camera, now the camera exists, if that makes sense. You know, watch any TV show, movie, or commercial, 99% of the time, they will never look into the camera because they want the illusion that it's a real experience, you know. In looking into the camera, it takes away from that illusion because, well, like I said, as soon as you look into the camera, then it makes the audience aware that you're aware of the camera, and you just have deconstructed the illusion by one simple glance. Now, it doesn't matter for me in this video, as I can stare at you guys. Well, to you guys, I'm staring at y'all, but to me, I'm staring at me because I record these in selfie mode. Kind of weird to think about. Well, let's see, what else happened today? Oh, we finally got a tenant in our rent house, which means that instead of us just paying for it, somebody will pay us to live there, which is cool. But and one thing that's not cool is I did plan to go ice skating today, but this tenant wants to move in ASAP, so I had to go move a dresser ASAP. So I had to call my dad and be like, hey, so I heard you've been hitting the gym. You want to go move a 6 foot dresser made out of real wood? You know, so drove an hour up there, hour back. Got it in this house because my sister wanted it for the nursery. That's why, well, I had to take the ratchet straps with me. But we got it done. We got it done. You know, I'm on top of it. Call me Sprinkles because I'm always on top of it. All right, let's see. Something else happened today I want to talk about. I'm blanking. As soon as I stop recording, I'll remember, but anyways, I'll tell y'all tomorrow if I remember, but I'll see y'all.